All right, welcome everyone. My name is Paul Phillips, also known as Journal Artista, and it's Saturday night over on Ustream.tv. You can search Journal Artista. You can Google Journal Artista and find me everywhere. But I stream live at 9:30 p.m. Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. That's Eastern time. And there's a bunch of people in chat who I'm usually talking to. Sometimes I talk to myself, but mostly to them. and so I'm laughing at the chat. So more than welcome to join. I would love to see you. So tonight, my goal is to do three. This is a small art journal. This is the one, a Strathmore one. To be honest, I'm not sure if they sell them anymore. A Strathmore mixed media journal, and they're fairly inexpensive. All right. So I'm going to try to do three, as I said. This is the first one I'm going to start. I I've had this journal for a while, and I ripped out some of the pages that I didn't like from years and years ago, and um, and I'm just starting it anew. So we've done a couple pages in this book together so far. So my goal is to finish this bad boy, although there's not that many pages left. So I'm going to try to do three one-page spreads in a night. I got some notes beside me, so I hope we can do it. Let's start. So as I was saying, this journal is older. So this stencil is a little old, um, because when you spray your stencil, you stick it in your journal. I think it's one of the original Crafters Workshops one, Crafter Crafters Workshop stencils from years ago. But anyways, the first thing, and this side I already pre-gessoed. We're waiting for it to dry. I found a napkin uh, that I bought, and I'm going to glue it on here with some matte medium. And this is no, by that time it was probably not dilutions. It would have had to been uh, Ranger Adirondack sprays, which are now like dilutions, or the Tim Holtz dilution sprays, or the Tim Holtz. I don't have anyone here. Oh yeah, Tim Holtz distress sprays. They work the same. All right, so I'm going to glue this down. This is a Liquitex Professional Matte Medium. And, I've kind of given Liquitex over the years. I was really hard on them with the Liquitex Basics Gesso. It's like sandpaper. Now, maybe sandpaper's all right maybe if you're covering wood or something. I'm not sure. But for art journaling, I didn't like it so much. But the professional series isn't as, isn't as, it's pretty smooth. Let's just say that. All right, so let me put a little bit on here. Actually, I might have to use a little bit more. It's not as gritty. All right. And if the sandpaper stuff doesn't bother you, it's not Liquitex Basics gesso is not too bad, but it's really rough. So as you can see, this is all moving. We'll be okay. I'm gonna put enough on there to make sure my napkinage sticks. I mean, you can use tissue paper, whatever you got going on. It doesn't have to be a napkin. Uh, I think I'm gonna some of it folded over there. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'm gonna put some on top. Hey, Rain. Good to see everyone. Apologize if I missed anyone coming in. It's not, see, the gritty gesso it's not the, I like the texture too, but oh my, it's like, if you don't like the whole fingernails on a chalkboard, like that's the kind of feeling I was getting. It works well, don't get me wrong, but it was just a little gritty. Yes, I agree. You have to use what's the best, that what you can afford. Oh, too much. That's what happens when I look up and not paying attention. Sometimes if you get your napkin or your piece of tissue paper, whatever you're putting down, if you put a little bit too much glue on here, of course you don't have matte medium, you could use Mod Podge or whatever you got going on. So speaking of what you can afford, the favorite gesso, and it's what I used over here, especially for art journaling, is the De La Rowney Simply acrylic gesso. So it's 16 ounces or 500 milliliters. In Canada, it was like $9.99 or not even. And this bad boy lasts a long time for art journaling, anyways. It's nice and smooth. All right. So I am going to dry this with a heat gun. Now you really can see, the spray coming through, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Heat gun. It's $9.99 in the US too, that gesso. Yeah, we're almost losing in the middle some of the design, but did I ever add water to the Liquitex Basics? Suzanne uses Matisse and had to add water. It's like cream in the jar. Well, I actually, to be honest, I threw out my Liquitex Basics because it was like sandpaper, so I know I never tried it. And as I said before the show, I did. Well, Leslie, if you're using the Crayola items, the Crayola Slick Sticks are awesome. I actually bought another set off Amazon. I think I had to buy them on the Amazon US site because mine were a little old and some of them had some shrinkage. So, and if we talk about crayons, we were just my friend Janet made me buy a new book on crayons, so I organized mine. Have a sniff. Dee dee. She made me buy a book by oh rats. What's her name? I'll think about it in a second. Or Janet will tell me. Lee Hammond. Yes, I bought a book from Lee Hammond that was called Amazing Crayon Drawing or something. You gotta check it out. And that's why I swatched my crayons. Who would have thought that I'd swatch my crayons? But check out that book. It blew my mind at how you can what you can do with crayons. Crayola crayons. And then the same techniques could be transferred, to pencil crayons or colored pencils. Yeah, shrinkage is bad news. Boy, this takes a while to dry. Sticky stuff, sticky stuff. Anita has a good tip. She pours her gesso into a small dish or a palette or a nonstick mat like I do, rather than putting your wet brush into the gesso because it could get moldy, and that's bad news. Nobody wants moldy gesso or moldy Inca Gold, right, Barb? I had to throw my Inca Gold out. They were literally moldy. All right, we can work that with that now. I have Lee Hammond, Leeham. I think there's two M's, Mmond. She's an author, and I have more than one of her books and some amazing stuff. So when it's dry, you know, you could be more precise. You could get out the scissors or whatnot, but I just tear it off. Sometimes I let it hang out. I like the look of things sticking out. I know those Inca Golds, they molded. You know what? I didn't have any success with any of the Inca Gold products. I bought some other stuff, and I didn't even open it yet, and it was completely dried. But maybe they changed it. I actually saw some Inca Gold stuff at Michael's the other day, or recently, I shouldn't say the other day, that they rebranded with something else. All right, boy, I could have chosen a different napkin or used spray that wasn't so close, maybe a lighter green spray, because that's pretty vibrant. Anyways, we'll work through it. We'll work through it. One more thing, I'm going to glue on the next page before, so I can have that drying before we start working on the other ones. I'm trying to, thanks Janet, got her link up there. Um, trying to see, my brain is obviously scattered because I can't think of the word. Multitask. Try to multitask. Yeah, I threw them in the garbage. What can you do? First they dried out, um so then I put a baby wipe in it, but then it got moldy. I guess there was, I don't know. Anyway, what can you do? It's over now. Hey Kim, good to see you. So this is a Paris, you look, put something in my hand and I'm pointing with it. This is a Paris metro map that my friend Glenda sent me in her secret sister box. And it just amazes me. I live near Toronto anyways. I grew up and born and raised in Toronto. And I think we only have like, what, 3 lines? They're trying to build another one. Hey, Robin. It's, and to see this Paris has, I can't even count them. Looks like 20. So this is what was actually, and I can't believe I'm even ripping it, but you know, I can't treasure it. I gotta put it, as I like to say, in a place of honor in my art journal. Oh, wow, Rain. She has thrown a bunch of stuff away. 2 trash bags from her art room. 2 trash bags this weekend. Sweet loving goodness. Yeah, pointing's okay as long as I'm not pointing at I'm pointing at a person, pointing at things for us is fine. Oh, yeah. So this was, Glenda gave me this, it's not faux ephemera either. It's real ephemera from Paris, from Disney Paris. This is, so I really like Scotch Quick Dry as a glue, but let me tell you, it's expensive here. So oh, I'm using some Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. Let me tell you, it's like an um, hand workout, or I guess your forearms. Holy crap. Oops. Sorry. I tried to be PG over here because you know what I always say, you never know who's watching. Usually instead of that I say rats or something. So I'm telling you, this is hard. Do you see my fingers? Like they're going white. I'm trying so hard to push to squeeze it out. I need to make a bigger hole. That's a good idea. Thanks, Suzanne. Now that I've embraced the leg, now that I'm finished it, this is a good tip. Cut a bigger hole in it. All right, let's see. My oh my, sticky stuff. I mean, it's quite. See, here's the thing. For me, anyways, I like to treasure stuff. Treasure, you know, to other people could mean hoard. Um, but so I lots of times something I feel like something's so good that not that Eileen's quick tacky is so good, but but anyways, I don't want to use it because I don't want to use it up. It's the silliest thinking. But then what happens is that it goes bad. So it's the whole use it or lose it stuff, right? Sorry, my chat is frozen. Okay, do it before I put it away. Oh, that hurt my hand. It's like those things you squeeze. So, long story short, actually it was still a long story, it's not short. I've been trying to use things, or I want to at least. So tonight I'm going to use my Dilutions paint. Jean says, Music Scrap Jean, if you want to find her on Ustream here, it's Scrap without an A. She says she found it so hard to squeeze out of the tube, she refilled a Scotch quick dry bottle with yours. That's a good idea. I'm sure I have a treasured Scotch quick dry bottle around here. Holy smokers. All right, so I'm going to let that dry as we work. As we work over here. So, as I said, now this dilution spray, back to, like I said, it was Adirondack, but dilutions or Tim Holtz distress spray, no matter what you do, unless you use the microglaze, but no matter what you do, or seal it with wax, that stuff's just gonna come up through everything. You could have 10 layers of paint and it's gonna come up. So let's see if when I put the dilutions paints on, I think I'm going to use some green. Let us try some green. This is, so you'll see I haven't even used this one, maybe once. Cut grass. Cut grass. Michaels is now selling Dilutions paint? Well, probably not so in Canada. Although, of course, they made a big open space, you know, where all the Martha Stewart stuff was. All right, so like I said, we're going to do this. So this paint, probably too bright for this page. Now, the way this paint is advertised, that it dries really quickly. Well, if you put it on this thick, it's not going to dry quickly. It's, you know, if you put it on, when I put it on the way that I like to use it, no way is it drying quickly. Takes forever, longer than any other paint I own. All right, I'm just adding texture by taking my, well, this is a gift card, and I use this edge. I put it almost perpendicular to the page, and I'm almost using it like a stamp. So that green is super green, super green. So I'm going to dry it a little bit, might wipe it back. I might just wait for that one. Let's let that dry a little bit naturally and we'll work on this one together. Does it seem too confusing when I'm going back and forth between pages? What do you guys think? Well, thanks, Robin. What kind of tiles? Already clay tiles baked? All right. These are Crayola portfolios. If you're in Canada, you can find them at Curry's. And yeah, my natural process is working on multiple pages, usually multiple journals at the same time. Rather than wait for something to dry, I'll put this one on the side and I'll go back and use something else. And that's how I normally work. So we're going to bounce around. Bounce around. So these portfolios, if you're in Canada, you can find them at Curry's. You can also order them on Amazon. Some people have found them in Staples. Not so many that they're, you know, you could have a problem finding them at Staples. So either Amazon or Curry's, and they're very affordable, in my opinion. So these are water-soluble oil pastels for wet or dry work. And you know, oil and water don't mix necessarily. So they are, you know, completely different than Neocolor 2s, which are water soluble, but they're wax based. So these ones, you can buy them in 12 or 24. So let us see. I think I want to use some blue. That page, these are going to be two completely separate pages, my friends. So let's see. I've got the lighter blue, but I want one of the darker ones. That's black, slate gray. I actually have 2 sets. I'm gonna have to move them in a different box because the box, don't ask me why I have 2 sets. Blue violet. Let's work that one out. So this side already has gesso on it. All right. That doesn't mean you have to use them with gesso. That just the way I'm using them right now. She's got her Tigger boots on. Bounce, bounce. Tigger. That reminds me of Joyceage too. So there is gesso. Doesn't mean you have to use gesso. It's just what I'm gonna do tonight. So I love to use circles. There was a time when I first started art journaling and I did a lot of swirls. Uh, but maybe I'll combine them. I used to do a lot of swirls like this, but over the years, I suppose I've moved more to circles. So let's do a couple swirls and trying to go off the page. All right, you can use regular oil uh, pastels for this, I suppose. It's just gonna, this is gonna be a, look a little different if you use oil pastels versus water soluble ones. Guess I'll put a little swirly madoo down there. So I want to look for odd numbers. So I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Some of them are hanging off the edge. I could have done multiple colors here if I wanted to. So let's see. I got some. I think I'm going to use blue. This is Broken China Distressed Spray Stain from Rangers to Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz, this page is gessoed. If you're asking me a question, my friends, please write in all caps. I know some people think they're yelling, but that really helps me since everyone in the chat's talking to each other, talking to me. If you put it in caps, then I don't miss it. Don't miss it. Hold the fort. I'm just gonna take a piece of deli paper over here. Gotta be careful. That's wet paint. Maybe I'll pick some up, maybe not, doesn't matter. But I don't want to overspray onto this separate page that I'm working on. So, just gonna spray a little. We can also always add more later. Then I'm gonna spray some water. I got this nice bottle when I was in the States, in the US, from Hobby Lobby. Not to say that they're not in Canada, but and it sprays well. Now I'm trying to move my brush. I'm trying to wet my brush, clean my brush so there's no gesso on it. Excuse me while I, hey Julie. I just wipe it off on my baby wipe over here. So I'm gonna blend it, but trying not to completely make a hot mess, make mud. You also got to be careful which color combinations you use, right? Because if you use colors opposite of each other on the color wheel, you'll get some mud. Could be bad news. So what's going to happen is some of the Crayola the Crayola portfolio oil pastels is going to blend, and some of it's going to resist from the it will resist the spray. You can do the same thing with watercolor. You also, if we have time, because these are quick pages, if we have time, I can show you. I have some regular oil pastels close to me, and I can show you kind of the same thing and how they resist, how it looks different, whether I use portfolios or regular cheap oil pastels. Hey Tam. Yeah, we've got 116 friends watching tonight. I appreciate everyone that's being here. Sweet goodness. that is here with me, has been here, is here. I also appreciate, of course, people that may be watching over on YouTube or watching the recording. All right, so I want to get some little bit of texture. This is deli paper, but that my wonderful friend Jan gave me. It's ginormous. It fits the jelly plate. I think she got it on Amazon. But you can also use some plastic wrap. I'm just trying to get some texture going on over here. Now this, again, this Dilutions paint, there is something about this paint. One thing about me, I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Whether something works or not, how I like it, how it compares. And this, there's something different about this paint that is unlike any other paint that I've ever used. Um, and it's the only thing I can compare it to, honestly. It reminds me almost like nail polish. I mean, it doesn't peel. It's very thick. Um, it's made by Ranger, and I bought all the colors when I was in Maryland, except for white and black. I know that she has new ones going out now. New ones coming out, but I really suggest them. They're not exactly the cheapest paints. Don't, you know, but save your money and buy Dilutions instead of Dina Wakley's Studio Paints from Ranger. In my humble opinion, and I did a test, and I don't want any hate mail, I'm just trying to save you money. I love Ranger's products, right? I've loved Ranger since they came out. But in my humble opinion, Dina Wakley paints are exactly like Liquitex Basics, colors and all. So save your money, buy Liquitex Basics when it's on sale. Comes in twice the size of bottle. Uh, and buy all the Dilutions and all the Tim Holtz distress sprays instead. I love Dina Wakley. I've been to her class. I have all of her books. Or does she have more than one book? I have lots of her stencils, but her paints are definitely just like Liquitex Basics. Okay, not hating on her. Heat gun. Alright, so I wiped that back a bit with baby wipe. And, again, I might have chosen the wrong color of green. I try to go off of what's on the napkin. Night Ella. Hi Ella. Night Ella. And that might have been the wrong shade of green. So we'll bring that back with something else. Hey, gun. Night Anita. I did a side-by-side comparison when they first came out. And I bought like 5 colors. But I don't know if it's on close to me or not. Anyway, so I think that we're going to have to bring that back. I got a piece of, while this is drying over here as well, I've got a piece of just dictionary paper going on. Let me rip some off. And this dictionary paper is kind of silky. It's silky. I don't, it's not, well, we'll see. You know what I mean, Vern. Do I have Dilutions? Does Dilutions even make a yellow? Hold the fort. Cream, red, blue, purple. Okay, if they do, I don't have it in here. Alright, we'll work it out. I think I'm going to use this Dilutions Pure Sunshine spray. Welcome, Andy Sue. We love newbies. I know lots of people watch as a guest, and sometimes, to be honest, when I watch other streamers, I do as well, because maybe you're working on something and don't want to chat, but if you're new in the chat, or you're just new to my channel, I know it seems like a bunch of us. I've been streaming for 6 years, and some of us, I say this every time, I'll work while I chat. So I'm gonna spray this on here. So I know it seems like, this group, some of us have been around and are very chummy, and we are. right? But it's not a clique. It's just that we've known each other for so long. We love newbies, you know, and I like to say we love the old people too. Not meaning old as an age, but old been around from the beginning. Oh, wonderful! I've inspired you to start art journaling again. Oh, that's one of the biggest compliments I can get for sure. It's called lemon zest, and here I thought I had all the Dilutions paints. I must. Maybe it's in the living room. So I'm gonna spray it on here. I'm just gonna. I guess I could have sprayed. Oh, this is lemony. This is called. Sorry, pure sunshine. I got myself confused. So, anyways, long story short, I know we seem like lots of people in the group. We know each other well, which we do, but that doesn't mean we're a clique, you know, a clique. You know what I mean. Uh, we are, we welcome and enjoy new people to the chat. So, all right. So let's see. Let us see. I think I may dry that bad boy. Maybe we'll have to what right. Let's test it out. As I like to say, we'll audition it on the page. What do we think? Hmm. Hmm. I think it's not too bad. It's going to tone down the green and rip it off here. Then we're going to dry it. We shall dry it. I try to think of thirds, right? So when I put down this, oh, not even on camera, I'm also going to ink this edge so it doesn't get lost on the page. So if I'm putting down some type of ephemera or scrapbook paper, whatever we got going on, if I put it like this, you know, it's not, what's the right word? The design, drink some coffee, Paula. You know, you work in the rule of thirds. So I always envision my page into thirds. So it's going to look better composition wise if it's kind of 2/3 of the way or 1/3 of the way or whatnot. Of course, it's your own art journal. You can put it on this side. It's your own art journal. Whatever looks good to you, you can do. You should do, not just can do, you should do. All right, so let me dry this and I'm going to ink it. Well, I guess while I'm drying this, we can dry all three things together. We're really multitasking now. Heat gun. I think tonight, there's so many people here tonight, I'll give away another uh, coloring book, small coloring book. I think it was Maryland. Anyways, the last winner I've got going out on Monday. I've got a whole bunch of things going out on Monday again. So I'll make sure to color it tomorrow. I like to color the first page while I give it away. So I will have a little drawing later. Be gone. Uh-oh. I was watching the chat while I was drawing this and it blew right into my lap. Be gone. You know, sometimes when you're using old dictionaries or book paper, it has that smell, like a musty smell. As I heat this, I can really smell it. Can really smell it. All right, so I'm just gonna take an ink pad, usually black. That's just my style. I like to use the black ones. Um, I have a few versions of the Ranger archival inks, but I keep some of these older ones that are already shredded, fraying at the edges, just for inking edges and such. you know, and I keep a good one or one that's not frayed for stamping. You'll see here in a second. All right, so again, I'm going to think about the thirds over here, and I don't like that big end there, so I'm going to rip it from that way. All right, but before I put that down, it needs some stampage going on, I think. So I'm just going to see what's around me. I'm a big believer, well, if you have a room like me and junk everywhere, a table everywhere, a desk that you have stuff everywhere on it, I like to use what's around me. So the first thing, some of the stamps I have, well, this might be nice. I carved this many years ago, and I like to carve that pink rubber, and you know, because I carve really shallow stamps, I'm able to carve two things on the speedball pink block. So it's kind of, you know, flower inspired. We'll use it. So again, I have the newer archival ink pad that I'll stamp it up. Is Keith there? Hi, Keith. I'm not sure if he's there or not. So I'll stamp. I like to, well, of course, I like to hang it off the edge, but sometimes it's nice. I like to do it on purpose, not have a full. I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry, I'm off the screen here. Yeah, use the calendars. You can, like Dee Dee does, use calendars to cut up. So the one thing, we carve your own stamps. See what I'm doing? Sometimes I get frustrated with coil bound books. No, sorry, my brain is scattered. What I was saying was, I like the look of stamps if I'm stamping in a background of not being perfect, right? Because then you don't get, if you do it imperfect on purpose, then you won't get frustrated if uh, you're trying to stamp it perfectly and mess one up. Boy, how many times can I say perfect and imperfect in one sentence? But of course, it's your art journal, so if you like perfect stamping, then you know, that's your prerogative. Hey Sin, good to see everyone. I'm so thankful for everyone that's here. Okay, so let's glue this bad boy down. And we're gonna bring this all together, my friends, so don't think we're in the hot mess stage. As I like to say, you gotta work through the uglies. So let me glue this bad boy down. I think I'm going to glue it with that, get myself a hand workout again with this quick dry. It's quick drying, but it's sure not quick squeezing. So I'm going right off the thing, right off the camera. Oh my goodness. I think my friend Jean is right. I'm going to put this in a different bottle. Holy, it's definitely thicker than the regular Aleene's tacky glue. Oh my goodness. Okay, enough of that complaining. So let's put this bad boy here. What's our time? Oh, we got 40 minutes. We've done, well, we're working on all the pages at the same time, so. All right, so now for me to bring all this together, because we got this craziness going on, I'm gonna stencil. I'm gonna add a stencil in white. Well, we could use light yellow, but I think white will be nice. And as I said, I don't have white Dilutions paint, so I can't test that. I got some white student grade here. So when I look at this book is only what, guys? 5 by 8, 7 by. It's small. So you have to think about proportion when I think of stencils, right? So for example, my friend Laurel, who's in chat, cut me this. This used to be an old die from Stampin' Up, I believe. Sizzix die from Stampin' Up. So this might be a little big unless I only stencil it once, right? So I have a smaller page So I'm looking through my 6x6 box, and some people were asking me about this uh, online on Twitter. My friend Lisa, I'm not sure if she's here tonight, got me this. It's called a card keeper. Oh no, I'm trying not to dump them all out right in my. Oh no. Hey Kate. So it's called a card keeper by Iris. As you can see, I've tried to peel it off so I can show you guys better, but it's got 6 dividers. But this is what happened. I dropped mine. If you don't have stencils, I have some Patty Tolly Parish stencils that are bigger. They're 8x8. So that's why it fell over. But it fits everything else well. It's got dividers. It's got a lid. It keeps them nicely. Not like not like I just dumped it out again. Okay, so I'm going to go through this and think of find a stencil that's somewhat flower related and that proportionally is nice for the page. And I mean, that could just be, I might have to just use one that's graphic. Like my tried and true Crafters Workshop one from, I think that was a Julie Faye Van Balzer one. It's been a while. Sorry, I want to find the right, sometimes when you have a few stencils, it takes a while to find the exact one that you'd like. See, I got a Dina Wakley stencil. That one actually might be nice because it's vines. But I think this has got so much going on, I think we just need a graphic type of stencil. So, let us see. I really want to use almost like a chevron. I'm just trying to see if I have a chevron in a small size, like 6x6. I have to. I probably have more than one somewhere. And a lot of people say, say to me, I get lots of comments over on YouTube. Why don't you prepare? And I did actually prepare tonight. Night, Sandra. But, sometimes you have to go with the flow. You don't know, I don't know where my page is going. This, like I like to say, this is real life, people. So I'm not exactly sure where my page is going. So, so sometimes you do have to go with the flow. I cannot find one chevron stencil. Not to one. Very strange. Probably because I dumped this whole thing, but we won't get into that again. So let's use the Harlequin. Like I said, I've used this bad boy. It's a Crafters Workshop one. To be honest, I don't even know if they sell it anymore. But I have some. This is real life, people. Real life. So I like to show you my whole process and explain it because I want you to I want people to go away and and try stuff at home and not be, if you mess something up, like I'm gonna mess stuff up, right? Then you see how I work it out. I could easily prepare my best pages and my best techniques and then just recreate that live. But anyway, if you like that way, tweet me, let me know, send me an email. I would find it interesting actually to see who prefers what way. You know what? I just looked beside me and I have this foam stamp. This is one I cut, cheap fun foam. I was reading the Tracy Bautista Printmaking Unleashed. That's the first person I saw do fun foamy stamps. I doubt she was the first person ever. I just like to reference the first person where I got the idea. So I'm just thinking they kind of look like leaves. I think that'll actually be nice. See, you gotta be flexible. No one's throwing any shade tonight. Okay, let us see. I'm gonna spounce. Well, I guess I'll use a makeup wedge. This white paint, this is made by Desairs, which is a Canadian art supply store. So it'd be like the same as Blix. It's a student grade acrylic paint. So I'm just gonna stamp it on here. I suggest if you're gonna make these foam stamps, I mean, I didn't even draw them. I just cut them out all willy-nilly. But see how I got white everywhere? That's from using it on the jelly plate. So I really suggest you find the foam, the fun foam that's two thicknesses, like it's thicker than this, like 1/32 or 1/8 or something, 3 millimeters. All right, so let's see. As I was saying before, this is a bigger, bigger in scale, but that just means I'm going to use less of it. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks, Sherry. We're shady. I'm into the shade. I'm in. Color pencil shading that is. All right, so press that down. Oh my gosh. Okay, like I said, real life. You can't even see that at all. Nice, Sandy. So, try number 2. I should have got a brayer. I have more than one brayer. The tiny one I have, the good old one they used to sell at Ranger, the squeaky brayer. Let's try it. It might make my dogs bark. I challenge anyone that has this brayer to say that it doesn't squeak. Every single person. Now I know I'd put some WD-40 on it or something, but okay, off the camera here. Trina takes the thin fun foam and then just glues them together and it works great. I have to try that next time. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Now we got it going. Well, yeah, this is gonna work. My dogs might not bark because Simon's out there in the living room. Okay, let's see if I can stamp here. Again, like I'm going over the coil. Hey, Carol. I'm shady. I like to shade. Not throw some shade. Anyway, we won't go there again. We won't go there again. All right. Boy, so we're really getting, this might be getting too much, as I like to say, hot mess. I'm just looking at my notes here. All right. So we've got a lot going on this page, but with the final touches, I'm going to put the final touches on it and hopefully we'll bring it back. We'll work through the uglies, my friends. Trina uses self-adhesive fun foam, just using a baby wipe to wipe this up. And then she uses her steel rule dies, her cutting dies, to cut out shapes. It's another great idea. Let me get another piece of it. All right, so the final touches on this bad boy is really going to help. I hope I'll work through the uglies on that one. So this page, I think, is dry. I'm going to let this dry while I work over here now. Well, let's ink the edges first over here. I like to ink my edges, so you can use paint. You don't have to ink them at all. Again, use an ink pad that's bad. Like I'm going right over wet paint here, and that's really bad for your ink pad. You don't want to do that with an ink pad that you're going to stamp with. And again, it gets a little frustrating with the coil bound books, but I kind of just lift it up and scrape it across. This will be interesting. This will be interesting how I'll work out the uglies on that bad boy. But you know what I say? Like, this is your art journal. If you can't make mistakes in your art journal, where are you going to make them? You got to try stuff out, right? Excuse me while I take a drink of coffee. So I think I'm going to use some blues. And again, I'm going to use what's around me. I do have some Liquitex soft body paint. This is Liquitex Professional. Um, I also have a different color of blue, but let's see, this is Brilliant Blue. You know, I really like to use Liquitex Basics, as everyone knows, but the odd time I have some professional. Darcy? I don't think it's ugly. It's just we're going through it's busy right now. It's extra busy right now is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Take another. I don't know what this is. I think it's a key card from my friend Laurel's Marriott. Anyway, so I'm just gonna scrape some paint around. Let me look at my notes. Oh, that's why I messed up my notes. See, this is what happens when I try to prepare, right? I tried to prepare what I'm doing. I was supposed to put this book page on this page. Oh well. That's why it looks so messy. So I'm just gonna put some paint on top of it. As I like to say, all willy-nilly. I've got some left over, so I need to find one of my well, I can't find one close enough, but I like to have a leftover journal. This is making a liar out of me over here. Let's see. I just got a magazine journal over here. Night, Veronica. Oh yeah, see, I've been just scraping random stuff over here. Let's just scrape. I don't like to think about this stuff. I think you get such organic and interesting things when you just randomly, you know, put your leftovers on a page. Okay. Let's see. So that's a blue. Let's see if we can find a purplish color. Purple. As I was saying before, I'm the type that uses all. I could use craft paint, artist grade paint, student grade paint, all in the same page. All in the same page. Doesn't matter to me. Hmm. My problem is, maybe one of you guys can help. Somebody that's watching. What is the best way to store Liquitex or tube paint in general? What is the best way to store tube paint? See, I have a Raskog. Let's talk more art. I have a Raskog from IKEA, but you know, I'd probably need 3 of them to unfortunately hold all my paint. I have all 48 colors now of the Liquitex Basics in these tube sizes. So here's my choice. I could fill my Raskog with all this paint, right? But I would have to get rid of all, night Jamie. I would have to put all my I would have to either put all my craft paint somewhere else or use it up and just use student grade paint from now on. What do you guys think? But here's the thing, the Raskog, I have, you know, when you have 48 colors, and I'm not trying to say to boast, don't, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. It's just trying to tell you what I have so that you can help. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what, Ali? Hi, Ali, by the way. I was thinking about a pegboard, you know, back from my lean manufacturing days and 5S. I could even 5S it, outline every one, and label each color. Okay, so some of this paint is halfway dry. Let's see. So I'm just gonna, again, I just put the paint on the side of the edge of the key card. I'm just gonna stamp it. I like the way the texture. Sorry, it's hard to see when the paint's wet. I like the texture it gives when you hold your hotel key card or gift card, whatever you got going on. Let's see, maybe I'll bring it all the way down. Of course, you can scrape it, you know. Maybe we can scrape some up here, combine the. But these days, I'm really into that look. And, you know, another thing I always say is you can't be afraid to cover something up you've already done. So you think that, oh, I had this nice background and now I'm just covering most of it up. You know, I'm not afraid of doing that stuff. Okay, so let's wipe that up. I've got mess, my friends, a mess going on over here. Ooh, Aussie Grand Jen. Hey, Kathy. Um, she suggests maybe one of those plastic over the door shoe hanger me do's. That's a good idea because my room's so small. Behind my chair here is a behind my chair is my door. Literally, I have to move my chair way out of the way to put to open my door. So if I put something on the back of my door, like one of the shoe things, then for sure, that would be good actually. Kathy's saying all Liquitex should fit in one Raskog shelf. I don't think so. Not all 48 of them. I'm gonna try. I'll try it. I shall try it. That's a great idea, Jen. Okay, I'm gonna dry both of these pages actually. 10:30. So 1 hour, and I don't know. We're gonna have a hard time finishing 3 pages. Hikun. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, I have such limited space. Yeah, a rolling iris cart's another good idea. Yeah, Jean has a great music scrap without the A. Jean has a great like she has a Raska. She went to Dollarama, which is a dollar store here in Canada, and the plastic. And I have some of the same out in the living room. I have one right here. I'll show you in a second. And she put dowels, because sometimes when you put your paint in the Raskog, well, I can talk while I'm hair drying this. Um, heat gunning this. Sometimes when you put these bottles in, standing up, they just start tipping over everywhere. So she put dowels in there to hold them up. It was great. Great idea. Nikki has all of her craft paint on the top shelf. All right. So let's see. I'm actually half tempted just to pull this off, but we won't go there tonight. I am going to use a ballpoint pen. I love to use ballpoint pens. Now this is a black Bic pen. I also have the crystal. They're both Bic crystals, but this is 1.6 millimeters, so it's got a really thick tip, which sometimes is nice. And this is a regular Bic. These are my favorite. I've been using them for years. I've always liked them, but they really go over everything, like everything in your book, all the paint. So I think I'm going to definitely gonna outline my and this is still wet. I gotta be careful. Oh boy, see, tipping everywhere already, tipping everywhere. I'll try it though. I'll try it on my Raskog. So I'm just gonna loosely go over this outline, see if it makes it look any better. See, this page is so busy. This is where it would have been nice if I could have my black one, my black big crystal bold pen, big crystal bold. They come in a whole range of colors. I have a red one here. There's pink, there's green. I also like to use them if I'm going to do any journaling on these pages. Uh, any writing. I love to use a big pen. Like I said, goes over everything, but also it kind of puts it in the background. So it's there, but it's not like somebody has to go like this to read it. Know what I mean, Vern? It's a little bit more discreet, shall we say. Boy, oh boy, this page has got one too many things on it, I think. But I think we'll tone it back down now. And I like the look of this. So maybe we could have used some paint markers, some paint pens. Maybe we still will. Let's see. Maybe we should see what happens if we add some yellow paint pen. Okay, first I'm going to use now titling. Over the years, I still love. I keep saying I've been a scrapbooker since 1999. Scrapbooker and stamp. So I have lots of scrapbook stickers, especially alphabet stickers. So I love to use alphabet stickers as titles. You can use foam stamps, whatever you got going. But I also have, if you can find this on eBay or um, third hand or second hand or whatever, I meant third hand, third party seller on Amazon. But this is called Sticker Nation 2. There is also a number 1, and I use this all the time. They're all stickers, right? And like you saw this one over here, I cut some of them up, cut some of them in half. Um, so there's some strange stuff, right? Guided by guts. We could use guided on that, but hope and plan kind of looks nice. Anyways, it really has so many cool things, that different words that you can mix and match. I know they're hard to get, and every time I show them, right, people get upset with me because they can't. We might just have to laugh out loud. But so I'm just looking at this composition wise. I kind of need some small words because this is a small page, right? Gluing toothpicks together. I don't know. Never stuck. Or I could just use stuck. Let's see. Oh, my head. That's what I need for tonight. Oh, my head. See, I'm thinking too much. But putting any title here, black and white, a bigger title is going to push everything in the background. I love this so much. I must admit, I have a backup. There's a time, I guess it's still, that really I'd have to have 2 of something before I could use one of it. Don't ask me. It's crazy, but Oh, this is a good one. Thanks for sharing. I got some hate comments on my videos again. Believe me, I laugh at them now. Over the years, I've heard it all. But I need to have a backup. That's craziness. So sometimes this is a copyright stickernation.com. Sometimes I keep it on, sometimes I don't. But this is a small page, right? So I need to cut it off. I'm not, this is my art journal, so I'm not like mass producing the pages and copying them or anything like that. I'm just gluing it in my art journal, my friends. I could have a bidding war on eBay. I never did get number 1. I know my friend Kathy sent me one that let me see. One of the stickers from Sticker Nation 1 that has something to do with coffee. I can't remember exactly what it was saying. So I always like to have everything overlap. Shader's gonna shade. Believe me, I'm working on a page about that. You've heard it here first. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand that. Somebody in chat is talking about, let's talk more work. If you look at Amazon, they've got Kindle or Kobo in here in Canada. I use a lot of Kobo. And they have I'm looking for orange while I'm talking out loud. how is it possible that they have Kindle coloring books? I don't understand. It's not like you can print them out. It's not, it says coffee now, damn it. Anyways, you can't print those bad boys. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so this is some orange. Oh boy, it's got a paint booger in it, I think. This is Liquitex Basics Cadmium Orange Hue. And it's a funny type, I was just gonna say it's a funny type orange. Yeah, it's definitely orange. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the white just to tone it down a little bit because I want more of an orange, say what this spray was or whatnot. We're gonna do splots. I like splots and I cannot lie. You may not like splots, you know, you gotta do what you like to do. But I like splots, so I'm putting them on there. How about that? But it's not the right color of orange that I like, so I'm going to add some. Again, this is just student grade white paint. You can print them. They come in a link to the PDF files. Not, not Kobo. I don't think. I could be making a liar out of myself, but all right, I don't very often use a. If I even bring out a paint palette, what ends up happening is I'll have the paint palette beside me, and then and then I end up putting my paint on here anyways. So it's still not orange enough. So let's try this. I'm gonna have my dilution squeezed orange spray. I'm gonna spray it in here. See what happens. Because I'm gonna do splots. I want it runny anyways. You know, I want to water it down anyway. So still, that was a lot of white. I think that's why it's a little too sherbet looking. Orange sherbet. Put my Kobo app on my computer and then I can print from the file. I gotta try that because I didn't think, I was thinking the other day, this crazy things that go through my head. I mean, I have a lot of Kobo books, right? Hundreds. And because, I don't want to store all those books, so I like to buy ebooks. But then I was thinking the other day, what if Kobo goes out of business? If Kobo goes out of business, what happens to all my books? Do they go away? Does the app stop working? This is the thing that I think about. So apparently you can't even download them. I don't know. I'm not techie. Okay. So I want bigger splots. So I'm going to try to find, my friend Jane gave me an awesome splotter tool, but I want a little bit bigger splots tonight. So yeah, listen to Jean, trust Paula, nod and smile. That's true. Okay, I want bigger splots. Still not dark enough, but oh well, we're gonna work with it. So today, this title works for me today because I got a nice hater comment on my videos. Like I said, she told me that I ramble too much, which is true, and my thoughts are scatterbrained, which is true. But she likes my art. So I guess she threw in a compliment at the end. Okay, so I've got lots of this, I always end up making too much. So I don't think about it. Let's just put it on. This way of splotting, you gotta be careful. I get it on my face, I get it on my hands, I get it on my laptop. You know, you gotta be cognizant of those ramifications. But I don't like to waste anything, so I'm gonna put this here. These are some big splots. All right, somebody will have to message me on Twitter or whatever to how I need to do that. Knife fairy there. All right, let's wipe this up. For the sake of time, I don't want to drag out 4 different journals. See, look, guys, I'm not sure unless I'm really fast on that last page. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but that looks good. I'm actually liking it now. So now that we got all the stuff going on. It's a half decent. It would have looked a little bit better if I hadn't put that. Anyways, you got to learn from it. The next time I look at this page and I learn from it the next time. For the next time. Oh, okay. So I got to make sure this is dry. So I'm going to use the heat gun. Heat gun. Actually, those orange spots look pretty good over on this more bluish page. This is real life, my friends. Real life. That's one of my new favorite sayings. You know, Susan, I used to, well, to be honest, I used to send my baby wipes to my friend Joyceage. Yeah, I think it would be really cool to make a quilt out of them, but I go through so many. To be honest, I go through so many. It's just it's it's too much. Um, but I know lots of people that glue it on their pages. There's lots of different ways you can almost collage them for a cover of your art journal. See if you're using a comp book or something. Would be cool. All right. So all I was going to do with this particular one, was it dry? All right. So I was going to go back and take the portfolios. This one's going to be a real quick page. First, let's see. I said I was going to use the stamps around me. Again, you don't have to use stamps. I love my stamps. So I'm going to continue to use them, right? I want one that's kind of swirly. Swirly. Let's see. Because this is swirly, right? So I'm going to try to match the background here. I'm going to pick out the first thing that looks like swirls. Oh, I said I was going to use this. I've got a vintage Creative Memories tote. These were awesome. I truly wish. Hi, Carrie Ann. I really welcome Andy Sue. Yeah, use it or lose it. That's true. I really wish I had more of these bags. All right, so I have some stamps. Most of these are from Bo Bunny. Wall-to-wall textures, they're called. Texture stamps from 2013. I don't know if they're still out and around, but let's see. Ooh, these are some old Seven Gypsy stamps, I think. I like this one. It says, "Life is good." That's a contender. What is this? That's a nice kind of looking. Ooh, this is nice. Nice feathers, and they were so nice I haven't even used them yet. You know how that works. Maybe. Or I got some new stamps from my friend Glenda. That's what I should use. My problem is I have too many stamps around me, obviously. Okay, so my friend Glenda gave me these stamps. Let us see. Let us see. This is a nice bird. Well, they're all nice, but wouldn't this bird be nice? The Eiffel Tower and the swirls, I'm not sure, but the bird will be nice. I like the Eiffel Tower, don't get me wrong. It's just may not work with this particular page. Back to one of my good archival inks. And archival inks made by Ranger here, if anyone's not familiar, they're waterproof and permanent. Here's the thing. They have to be dry to be permanent. So if I stamp these right now and smush my hand over it, I'm going to smush it all over the place. So let's see. And they come in a bunch of different colors, but mostly I like to use black. Oh, didn't press hard enough. Now we got a flock of birds in the sky. It reminds me of my Halloween page. I should show that again for any of new viewers. So here we go again. hard to stamp at the by the coil. But I like stuff that looks like it's going off the edge, right? Some of them may show up, some not. Let's see. You could only stamp a few if you like, or all of them. I gotta be real careful. My splots over here are not dry, which is gonna have cause problems on the next page. It's gonna cause problems. Alright, so the same thing. Again, that's not completely dry. Let me hit it with a heat gun for a second. Heat gun. NASA channel. Alright, so if I tried to put those oil, the Crayola portfolios on top of this slick paint, they might not go so well. So I'm going to use instead, I think I used these in my last stream or a couple streams ago anyways. I'm going to use my Sakura solid paint markers, and I keep saying, I'll say it again. If you have any type of, you don't like strong smelling stuff, these are not for you. It smells like Windex, window cleaner times 10. It is, I try, it may sound like I'm repeating myself, but the emphasis, I mean, this is really, really strong smelling. Posca, my friend Laurel saying, if anyone likes Posca paint markers, there's a great sale on Amazon. Yeah, I know. Jean made me buy them. Jen and Jean made me buy them. All right, so these solid markers, solidified paint for high temperature. So they're thermal resistant. They're actually made for industry, like industrial purposes. They really work well. They dry permanent. I don't know how to explain them other than to say, well, you'll see here. But again, strong, strong, strong scented. Strong. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I like circles, but it really works well. You know, everyone knows I love Julie Faye Van Balzer. I've loved Julie Faye Van Balzer since scrapbooking, right? Since she was published in CK magazine. So I've been following her for many years before she did all this art journaling and other art stuff. But this is where I saw on one of her videos. Boy, you might get high with these bad boys, just saying. So Jean made me buy some Posca paint markers off Amazon, Canadian Amazon.ca, but they came from Japan, which was great. They got here quick, 2, 4, 6, 8. I try to do some odd numbers over here. They came really quick, and it was fine. Don't make me get them out to show you, because I bought some ginormous ones too. Ginormous. Oh, sorry, right beside the camera. I actually just sorted my paint markers. Look, here we go. This is why I'm not getting all 3 pages done, because I can't stop yapping. So I got it, and my friends, there's not a lick of English on this. Not a word, other than it saying Uni Posca. So these Japanese, like, it's all Japanese. It came with 15 different paint colors, and, it says Uni Posca. But these ones, sorry, my spots have to dry anyways. That's my excuse. Whew, that's heavy. Obviously I didn't prime this bad boy. I think these ones, these ones were 5mm tips. 5mm. And I'm telling you, it was very reasonably priced. So, why does that look red? I don't know if it's showing in camera. Let's try this. Oh no, still works okay. See, I don't have very much luck with paint markers, but that's because I don't use them. That's my problem. I treasure them. For example, I have some Derwent Graph Ink pens, and it's not even out of the wrapper. Bad news. I've had them for a few years. Sharpies. But these are the Mamba Jambas I bought. Look at this bad boy, my friends. This is a Liquitex paint marker. Uh, not quite primed either because, you know, I treasure it. But that's Liquitex. They work well if it's, but it's not primed all the way. And okay, this is what I was showing. The Unipascas. These are. Let me see. There's the how big they are. 15 millimeter tip. I mean, they're Linda. Stop giggling out there. But they work well. We could try it on my page, actually, on one of my pages tonight. Um, I also got some white ones. And like I'm telling you, these were really good quality, and I even bought two of these white ones. This white one is 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter tip. I'm all writing all over my book here. But thanks, Jen, for enabling. Thanks, Jean, for the link. Anyways, we might use that on another page, on a page tonight, show you how they work. Because, you know, I'm putting in this on a book that I'm going to put in my one of my dories. Let's go back to this. So these dry permanent. It takes a while though, so but once they're dry, I mean they're dry. So I think I want to ink these edges first. Dan, where's Dan? Know what I mean, Dan? Oh, sweet goodness. All right. Now, you might want to wait till it's dry before you start inking the edge. And you know what? It would have been nice to use a darker blue to ink the edge as well. But, you know, I started inking the edges when I was a scrapbooker, and I just never really stopped. Okay. So, again, I'm going to use those same, just for the sake of time, I'm going to use the same, well, if I can find it, Sticker Nation titling book. You know, maybe you don't have the Sticker Nation book, but hey, get out, you know, you can use magazines, you can use the words from a magazine, or like I said, stamps, foam stamps. You can just write it. You know, I love to just write titles with my handwriting. To Clarity. Maybe Clarity would just be a nice one. But this is a bigger one, so let's just walk your talk. Yes, that's what I need tonight. There always seems to be a there's always seems to be there always seems to be some saying in there that I can relate to at any particular time. But it is great to have some words. I know my wonderful friend Packer Dye keeps a whole like little. She cuts out words that she likes from magazines and then keeps them in a little container to pull out, just like for these type of situations, pull out and use. So there's lots of other options. If you can't find this book, I think the book was published in like, I don't know, 2008. Not, I don't know, it's right on here. It's got a copyright of 2008. Walk your talk. All right. So I'm just going to try to put this in the middle. Now, well, we'll go with it. Because I used some student grade paint, rats! I can peel these, I lie, can't peel them up. Can't peel them up, so we'll just have to deal with this. But sometimes you can just do a simple, not sometimes, you really can do a simple art journal page. I'm going to have to work out this because it's too far that way. I should have made it a little wonky. Know what I mean, Vern? Sticker Nation 2 is $54 in Canada. I got mine, Sandy Chick, for I won't even say. Well, as you saw, it was $5 at Indigo on clearance. I really wish. I mean, what's going to happen if I peel it up, right? Rip the paint. It's actually kind of, oh, rats. I should have just left it. Left it well enough alone. All right, I'm going to let that stuff dry a little bit. And I'm going to use another piece of deli paper here. Oh, look at what happened here with those spots. When I used the leftover spots, I kind of tilted it. Now it's all running down. That looks great. I like it. So I'm going to come back to this one after. And it needs, there's a lot of blues and purples. So I think I want to put some yellows or oranges. Need some yellows or oranges touches. You know what? I wonder what would happen. Some of these spots aren't dry. Well, let's make a hot mess. If you can't try it in your art journal, where can you try it? I'm just going to turn it over, see what happens. See what happens. What time do we have? 11. You think I can do another page in half an hour? I think so. So again, I'm going to take some meat. Well, you know what, Vern? I'm going to take some clear gesso. I love me some clear gesso. And I got some new Liquitex Basics clear gesso. Oh yes, Liquitex Basics Professional Clear Gesso. This could be bad news going on closing the book like that, but we'll take the risk. So whether I've done this technique over the years. Sometimes I've used tissue paper. Sometimes I've used scrapbook paper. Lots of times I've used scrapbook paper. Today I'm using a map, and it's kind of slick. It's like a magazine type slickness. Slickness? Did I just make up that word? I think I just made up that word. So people always say, what's the difference between clear gesso and matte medium? Not too much. Maybe there's a little bit more tooth in clear gesso, but it's thicker. It's a little bit thicker. Night, Cindy. So the Liquitex, find whatever clear gesso. I really like Tri Art, which is a Canadian company. I think you can find Tri Art on Blix though. I really like Tri Art's clear gesso. This is, like I said, this is Liquitex Professional, so it's pretty easy to find. And it's a little gritty. I mean, it's gesso, it's gonna be gritty, but not Liquitex Basics nails down a chalkboard gritty. Night, Sin. All right, this is what we should do. While this is drying, we should have a giveaway. I'm going to give away a Design Original small coloring book. I am going to color the first page in it. There's 3 different ones, so it'll just be, it may not be Color Zen, it might be Color Calm, or there's 3 of them I have. Color Calm, Color Zen, and I forget. But I will color the first page for you. I started this one I tore out. This is my book. But I will color and shade one for you. So here's what's going to happen. Everybody listen to the rules. First of all, I'm going to let people sign in if you're a guest or whatnot. So when well, we got 105 people. So it's going to have to be from 100 to 120. Here's what we're going to do. That's a tag. Oh, well. You're going to pick a number between 1, and I'm going to show this in a second. I'm going to write down we're going to wait until I type go. You see my words in red. Going to be one number and one number only. One number only. Right? Whoever's closest without going over. I'm going to use random.org. Right? So you need to choose a number between 1 and 120. We're going to wait until I type go in the chat. You'll see my name. Server disconnected. Server's bad. Everybody. Does that make sense? Everybody understand the rules. Miko? Miko likes to trick. All right, everybody understand the rules? Everybody signed in? All right. I know we have a lag, so we're going to give people time. Holy smokers. We're going to go fast. So I'm going to use random.org here in a minute. 1,020. I'll try this. I know there's a lag, so we'll wait. I'm going to type it into, sorry. I'm going to type it into random.org over here, so, there's no tricking. All right, I think we're ready. Everybody got a number in? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Only a couple spots. Bye, Jen. Have a good day. Jen lives in Australia. All right, that looks half decent. Couple spots. Might have to add more. Okay, so I'm going to go to random.org. Everybody's done, so let's type in... Oh, Kimmer got in at the last second. So I'm just going to bring up random.org. Thanks, Miko. Miko likes to trick people and put in a number at the beginning and make everybody go crazy. All right. So I'm going to, we got 1 to 120. And the number is 24. Now some of my friends are going to help me figure out what that is, I'm sure. Who's the closest without going over? Oh, I'm still teasing Miko. When we have a giveaway at Maryland, Miko, what are you going to do? She's going to be tricky. All right. Let's see. Of course, Miko's kidding. Everybody knew in the chat, we're just having a good laugh. We're having a good laugh over here. I think I'm going to do everyone's favorite color. Chrissy Star had 23. Looks like Chrissy, so someone new. That's awesome. Is she still on here? Laurel had 22. Chrissy Star, if you can email me your address at journalartista@gmail.com. I'm going to send a bunch of stuff out tomorrow. Miko's gonna sign him for this. Do I want creamer tops for palettes? If you bring, are you driving, Suzanne? Oh, right. I mean, I don't want you to fly with them. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with some. I mean, here we've got a dark. Maybe we should do that. We got a lighter green and that darker blue. I was thinking about using a bright aqua green, but now that I look at it, this light green is kind of a nice. So I'm gonna use the vibrant yellow green. Yeah, welcome and congrats, Chrissy. So let's see. This should be another quick page. I'm thinking, if anybody wants to. See, I'm going to use my non-stick mat anyway, so I'm not sure if other people would want them or not. But hey, it's always good to have. You never know. People forget that type of thing. But I think last year I forgot to bring something. I forgot to bring a water jug, a water container. You're not coming? Rats! Okay, so I'm just going to take a brush and spread some on. All right, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I don't want to dry it all the way. Let's turn. I'm going to put another. I'm going to put my deli piece of deli here. Go back. Ah, rats. You know what? If Sticker Nation too, even if it's $20, let me tell you, American, that it really lasts. If you see how many times I've used it, this is only the first time. And if you've been around, Night Orla, if you've been around a while, you know how long I've had it and how many pages I've used it on. And let me tell you, like, a lot. It really does last. It's worth the $20, in my humble opinion. All right, so we got some orange splats over there. That worked out pretty cool. Worked out kind of nice. It would be nice to put in a. This isn't quite dry. When these Sakura solid markers are dry, see how it's a little bit sticky right now? I think I'm going to use some. I'll bust out my paint pens. Bust out. Uh-oh, that's not dry either. He comes. See, look, I've covered up so much of it now that I can't see so much of the portfolios in the background, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes I do it where, um, you know, you can see all of it, and sometimes I cover some of it up, most of it up. Let's see. I'm hesitant to put my paint markers on top of these when it's not quite dry. Hot. Okay. Now, the fumes coming out of these, again, just saying, be careful. Let's go back to this. So my intent is to wipe a lot of this back. Because I put clear gesso on it, I'm able to wipe away most of the paint. So it's a fine balance. I want to wipe off some, but not all paint, right? So journalartista@gmail.com. So there's a fine balance. I mean, it's totally up to you. You can wipe it all off except for a little bit, or, you know, you don't have to wipe off anything. But I'm going to wipe a lot of it off. But I do need your home address, yeah, or wherever you want me to send it to. So the fine balance is if you wait too long, you're not going to be able to wipe off anything. And I need a new baby wipe, sorry. I need a juicy one. I like to use Huggies. Um, so if you wait too long, you're going to have to put your back into it, or you might not ever be able to wipe it off. And if if you don't wait long enough, you're just going to wipe it all the way. So I want it to look like a little grungy, right? I want to be able to see the map underneath, but uh, in some places, but I also, like I said, I could have waited a little longer, I suppose. And I can't, all I can do is tell you to practice this. I don't know if you can even see it. Can you see? Does you even see? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sorry. Must be still talking about Posca paint pens. It's pretty light, so I'm not sure if you can really see it in person or not. So I'm using some ephemera here, but over the years I've done this a lot with scrapbook paper, and I keep looking around like I have one behind me, but I don't. So it just gives it a nice grungy look, and you'll see it a little bit more when we put the darker color on here. Put a little different blue on here. So why I use, I like to use clear gesso in this instance because I'm really, scrubbing hard. He can. Or talking about books and pasta pens. I find lots of the third-party books that I bought over Amazon or whatnot. Sometimes they come from the UK, but lots of times, I think, like Debbie just said, it's like stores go out of business. Maybe they're overruns. You know what I mean? So they're just kind of like a clearance. Oh, right. I don't know why I always use my hand like that to make sure it's dry. Let's choose a blue. There's some blue in the map. There's also some red in the map, but you know, and I know is nice with green. Let's do red. I mean, we do blue accents. I'm gonna use some primary red, Liquitex Basics. Am I an enabler? Sometimes. Sometimes. We all like to enable each other. That's the problem. That's the problem. If there was just one enabler, we'd be okay. But we've got 100 enablers. That's the problem. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I put a little bit of red. Same thing. Now this red, this Liquitex Basics red in particular, and I'm just going willy-nilly with the paint. Um, it's semi-translucent, right? So you gotta just remember that it's not opaque. So you're gonna start seeing the color underneath. If I had blue underneath instead of green, you would see more almost purplish. You'd get a little bit of a purplish color. It would still be red, but you know what I mean, Vern. You'll see some of the blue underneath and it'll look a little purple. So same thing. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit. Let's go back to the other page and see what's going on with it. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what's sticking? So when you use, here's the thing. How's my light? Can you even tell there's purple on there? I hope you can. It seems like it's washed out. you know, the thing with Ustream, I look at my broadcaster screen and I really can't see what you guys see sometimes, so it's a little frustrating. No. Somebody's asking, finding the right listing with the Posca pens seem about the same price as usual. It all depends, right? I got, like I say, mine came from Japan and they were, so they were definitely reasonable. I've already lost where I put them. Right here. Right here. You know what? Is Chrissy still here? I want to say Chrissy, not Chrissy. Maybe she doesn't want me to color and shade a page. I should ask that. You know what? This light orange would kind of go with the splats I already got going. There's actually 3 different colors of orange in here. Again, this is a set of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15. You gotta look for the Japan listing. The Japan listing. This is 2.5 millimeter. 1.8, 2.5. I think they're considered the medium tip. Oh, this guy's not primed, so we'll have to prime it. Okay. I think I'm a half decent shader. So I got some orange. Now this isn't the brightest orange, so let's see if I can prime it. Here's my problem. With paint pens, I end up priming it too much and then I just get one big splot. You know what I mean? I don't let it do its own thing. I just keep pushing it, keep pushing. I need to drink some coffee. Oh, yeah, these are the medium tips. Oh my. See, I can't even, because so I'm afraid to, you know, prime it too much. I can just start to see, because again, if I end up with a big paint spot. But I know the problem with me and paint markers is that I don't use them enough. A lot of things. Getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Let's go back to the other page. Well, and I'm just going to hold it upside down. I'm going to wedge it over here so it does its thing while we go back. I completely forgot about this page. We might have to put our back into it. So some parts are dry, some parts aren't. I'm going to get a clean spot on my baby wipe. Whoa. That's strange. My computer, it says that it's charging, but anyway, I think I really might have to buy a new computer. It's see what I mean? If you don't, um, what am I trying to say? If it's too wet, if it's not dry enough, you're not going to be able to wipe it off. If it's too wet, I just, you know, wipe it all off, and just gonna wipe it all off. So let's see. So I'm gonna speed up the process. I'm gonna heat it a little bit. I'm not trying to completely dry it. Just want to speed up the process over here. Okay, thanks, Rain. All right. So again, I want it to look a little. It's important to always flip around your baby wipe so that you're actually wiping off the paint, not pushing it around. I'll get a new one here. And like I said, sometimes if it's too dry, like in this spot, you gotta put your back into it. But lots of times I want to see some parts that are right down to the original map. I want to see some green and I want to see some red. That's my goal. Night, Sandy Chick. This is getting out of hand. Oh, sweet goodness. Never know who's watching. Never know. Keep telling myself. Never know who's watching. Alright, I think I'm liking how that goes. But try this over scrapbook paper. If I see, look, here's the thing. That's why I just moved all my art journals. Because I'm like, oh, I don't need them anymore. And now I'm thinking, oh, I wish I had an art journal that I've done this with scrapbook paper to show you. It's a lose-lose battle over here. Alright. Still trying to go and finding a clean spot. Night, Laurel. Good to see you. Okay. I'm surprised. No offense, Jean. I'm surprised Jean's still up after streaming today. I can't wait to go back and watch the coloring. I fell asleep at Jean's stream. Not because her stream was boring, because I needed a nap. Alright, this is looking good. Heat gun. Thanks, Debbie. It is nice with the two colors. I mean, you can go as far as you want, right? But I'm just going to leave it with the complementary colors here. This is definitely going to be a quick and easy page on this side. Alright, that's dry. Because it was already partway dry, partially dry anyways, that was quick. Let's see what's going on over here. I'm going to show you how to seal this. Alright, let's check out my, see if it's primed. Almost. See how it's come down? I saw Laurel say I'm supposed to push it and hold it. But you want to see the whole thing, you know, completely orange. Oop, completely orange. So is it all the way? Pretty close. But like I said, if you, anyway, you know what I mean, Vern. You won't go there again. Okay, but these ones really work well. I think what I want to do, I'm going to put some but you know, if you're using this particular let's see, I'm just going to go crazy over here. Like I said, if you're using dry markers, or say you did these circles with regular oil pastels, or you know, even the portfolios we were using earlier, like you seriously want to wait for it to dry. Or if you're using oil pastels, you don't want to use this over because it'll clog up. It'll clog up your marker and then it would be bad news. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it looks like it looks awkward. Like I need a couple down here or something. Couple up here. You just gotta be careful. Maybe I just need to be more messy with this. And it might have been nice just to, rather than having all of these thingamadoos I just put on there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But just to outline. I think I'm going to outline a little bit more in white once that dries. See what happens. See what happens. But I actually really like this page. It came out pretty nice, I think. One more thing I need to outline. Whenever I put some type of title like this. Night, Linda. what what does Jean say? I'm an equal opportunity napper. Jean says so whether it's Dee Dee or me or she falls asleep in every stream. In every stream. One thing I can tell about my own art journal process is that if my page is messy, kind of like this one, if it's messy, that means my mind is messy. Okay, define here. I don't have fine Posca markers. Jean can confirm or deny if it's the same size. These graphic ink ones, let's see, I got one that's open here. Are they this fine? Or is it just slightly bigger than that tip? I don't even know if that's... My hands are shaky, so it might not be. So if this is the medium tip, I bet you I have this one dried up because I haven't used it. Yep. See, that's what happens. Don't use it, dries up. It's my own fault. Oh no, now it's working again. Hold the fort. Maybe I just had to prime it. Is it too... Is that how thin it is, Jean? They're fine, but a bullet point. Oh, not like this type of pen that's like, oh, a bullet point. I'm not sure if I have any markers that are like that. What's this? Nope, that's the same. Nope, these ones Gar gave me are also medium point. I guess I don't have one that size. Because my Sharpies are all, my Sharpie, no, this one says fine point. Oh, this fine? I bet you that's the size. So if I compare it to... If I compare it to the medium Posca, hey Patty, you had a nice time at the dance? Awesome. It even looks a little smaller than that one. All right, so you just need them all. You just need them all. Right, guys? That's how we roll over here. I'm just teasing. So, is that dry? Let's test out some... That orange was kind of a funny orange, wasn't it? I wonder if I tried the light blue or white. What do you guys think? Should I outline this again with light blue or white? Right on top of this other piece. Light blue or white? For research. That's right, Debbie. You gotta buy them for research. I'll take a poll. While you guys are thinking about that, I'm gonna flip this back over. All right, let's see. Again, I'm gonna use whatever stencils are around me, which ends up being quite a few usually. It's a map. A map. What goes with a map? Oh, look at this! I goes right with a map. This is one of Patty Tully Parrish's stencils from istencils.com. This one is called Long Arrows, but I'm gonna put the arrows going that way. Hold the fort. I'm gonna flip it around. Yeah, because you know it's traveling, so we need the arrows going. And you know when you have a stencil like this, so you see some stencils are it's directional, right? So you have to decide whether you want the arrows to go that way or that way. So do you want the reader to look there, or that way. So if I did it this way, like this might be nice on this side with the arrows pointing that way. But say I did it, I mean, that would just be stripes. You just always have to remember if you have a directional stencil like this, um, which way you want it to point. So I think I want it to point inward. So, and this will be nice. I could just write my titles in. So again, 2/3. I'm thinking of the rule of thirds. I'm going to stencil this 2/3 into the 2/3 into the page at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'm going to do 5. Let me put a use a mask, post-it notes as a mask here. It'll also help me make sure that I don't go too far over. Not that it would be bad, just not what I want. Okay. We haven't done any spray tonight, and I just happen to have this Broken China Distress Spray. I'm gonna mask off this. You know, when you spray some stuff, like Craft-A-Doodle-Doo, when you spray, you don't want it, well, I don't want it to go all over the page. It doesn't mean maybe you do want, but I don't. So I'm just gonna use Post-it notes to mask it off. So I got some masks, and let's just say this is Broken China. And let's just spray. This could be bad news. But the good thing is, again, because we have the clear gesso on there, we can just wipe it off if we don't like it. Right? It's going to bead on top of there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to take off my mask here because there's still some spray goodness on the stencil. So I'm going to put this, see, it's beading up differently than, you know, say if we did some paint. I'm holding this up. Hold on, I got to stick it in my journal over here somewhere. All right. So it's not as precise necessarily. Precise, is that the right word? Anyways, it's going to beat up a little bit, but we'll be okay. I do want to dry that though. Heat gun. I might have to bust out some hairspray to seal this bad boy. Or you know what? I'm just thinking. To make it a little bit more permanent, once this dries, maybe not tonight, but once this dries, which may take a while on top of plastic, I can reposition the stencil again with using some post-it note masks and then stencil it in white. And because the Tim Holtz spray is going to come up, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 hours. Not bad. 2 hours, you almost got 3 pages done. And that's with me hemming and hawing and yapping. Yapping with scatterbrain. Yapping with a scatterbrain. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that'll be nice. I'm just, again, inking the edge black. You know, if I had a 2-page spread going on here, then I probably, you know, I wouldn't be inking the middle black, but we got some 1-page spreads. All right, hold the fort. Let's go back and put that deli piece of paper again. Or, you know, I've always, before deli paper, you know, when I did this, I always used just wax paper to dry my sheets. Sometimes, all right, everybody says white, so let's add some white on there. White was the verdict. Thanks, Ange. Thanks, Rain. Rain thinks it looks like it's visual texture. I stream every Wednesday night and Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Oh yeah, let's try some white. Do you think that this white Sharpie would work? Probably not. It looks blue. No, we won't use that one. We shall use the Posca. Is it already primed? Yes. I think. Maybe. It's hard to tell. Uh-oh. Look. It was obviously not quite dry. Look what's happening. Oh, now I'm really making a hot mess. Hot mess over here. Oh boy. Bad, bad news. I think I messed up my pen. Is that possible? For me, yes. Oh, there we go. We might get it back. Look at, that's bad news. We are, maybe it just needed to be primed more. I gotta be careful though, because you know what this needs? This page needs some itty bitty backgrounds. That's what it needs. So when I say itty bitty backgrounds, guys, I like to have a texture stamp. And years ago when I was a Stampin' Up demo, part of the free, the demo kit had some stamps, Stampin' Up stamps from 1997. But there was 4 sets and it was called Itty Bitty Background. It was just like, you know, dots. One thing I thought about the other day is, see, I got this, this is actually supposed to be, and it's hard plastic. It's actually supposed to be for the bottom of your brush, whatever your brush bucket. So you're supposed to rub your brushes on it to clean your brush. You can change the nibs on your Posca pens. Whoa, that is some good news. I can see, for me, disaster. It would be a complete disaster. So yeah, try to find these, and because it was with the demo kit, in the late 90s or early 2000s, you could probably get from cheap if you can find it, or make your own, or whatever texture stamp you got going on. But this one is just my favorite. And again, I stamp it multiple times. I also like to use like script stamp for something like this. Doesn't I just can do this quickly. You could do this exact same thing with your paint markers, your paint pens, or whatever you want, but it just adds a little something. When you're stamping on top of Liquitex Basics, a student grade paint, or it's a little bit slippery. It's a slippery slope, so you just gotta be careful to really go straight up and down. All right, so we're still gonna wait for this to dry, and what I'm gonna take now, I first found this tip from my wonderful friend Blade, the artistic biker. You can find him on YouTube. And this is just a votive. It's actually a pretty expensive votive from Party Light. But anyways, and it smells good. Burberry or something. It's got some fur ephemera on it. Anyway, you just use the bottom. Now I'm going to wait for that stamp to dry. Heat gun. Now, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Because I used Liquitex Basics or student grade paint, it's a little slippery, right? Which is why I had to use like the Sakura solid paint marker, or a paint marker. But if you were using craft paint, if you use craft paint, or like over here where we used matte medium, you have more of a tooth, you could have easily done that with your white or whatever color you want of your portfolios, right? You could spread them out, or your whatever oil pastels you're going. So what I'm trying to say is, depending on what you've used in the background, that's what's going to dictate, what you need to use on the top. Does that make sense? Know what I mean, Vern? But this slippery this, ah semi-gloss paint that we're getting, uh, because the student grade paint is kind of have a glossy finish. We can't the oil pastels just aren't going to stick on it properly. But anyways, we use because the student grade paint or artist grade paint is sticky, then you just take your, or you could use the microglaze, the new Tim Holtz microglaze. But I'm just going to take my candle, and it doesn't leave any color on it, it's just wax, right? But it's going to seal your page, and then it won't stick. Your pages won't stick. I mean, I like the crinkly, when you open your book and the pages are crinkled, make a noise. But, if you've worked a long time on something and don't want to ruin it or whatnot, then bust out the candle wax. Yeah, it is my favorite because it looks like tiny splots. That is for sure. Okay, this needs, there I go. I can't, now even though I've went over with wax, our trusty Bic pen is still going to work. Sometimes you have to go off on, you know, you have to kind of clean the tip, especially if you're going over oil pastel or wax like this, but it's still gonna work. All right. And one thing I like to do, if I showed you some of my older art journals, uh, oh, that's nice over there. Look at that. That's gonna be fun. If I do circles like that, I've always liked to write around the outside of the circle. So I even waxed it. You could have done this before the wax or after the wax. Um, so if I just write, well, it's gonna be hard. I just lied. I lied. Do it before the wax. Yeah, it's not gonna go over. It's making a liar out of me. I must have had too much wax on there. All right. Before you seal your page, right around, right around the thing. Too much wax. Yeah, it made a liar out of me. Oh well. So we did pretty much in an hour. Didn't, rats. Yeah, here's the thing. Because this is, again, because I used a student grade paint, right? The spray is it's not going to dry because it's like drying on plastic. Not that particular spray. If you made a spray out of like acrylic ink, oh, hold the fort. I do have a blue spray out of acrylic ink. I could probably buff it. This is not that important to me, to be honest. Hold the fort. So I made this spray with a Liquitex Basics ink. Not Basics, Liquitex Professional ink, Artist ink. So the Dilutions and the Tim Holtz spray, or if you've been around for a while and you have the Adirondack spray from Ranger, they're not permanent. Like I said, they're just going to keep coming up through everything. But if you're using an acrylic ink, and there's both Liquitex, I don't have the other one, FW Media. Well, all mine here are Liquitex. This is cerulean blue hue, but I actually used Prussian blue hue for this spray. Just find the mix you like depending on how strong you want your paint. So imagine, look at those arrows. Debbie says I could use a black Posca paint pen. You think, over wax? Night Alley? All right, just test it. The thing about acrylic inks, I mean, it's really, it's acrylic, so well, every ink you should do this, but you really have to clean the nib before you put it away, especially. Or but this is going to be, once it's dry, it's going to be permanent. It's not going to come up through anything or all that goodness. So let's see, go back to here, because I know it looks cool, but as soon as I touch this, it's going to come off, right? Unless I spray it with hairspray or something. But where'd that stencil go? Here we go. Let's see if we can line it up again. Reposition it, and because it's like just arrows, it's really easy to reposition. Where's the sticky part? You know, masking, so this will mask it so I don't get spray everywhere, but also it really helps the stencil to stay in one place. Well, except for when you have things under. Sorry, I'm trying to find the sticky parts. So it holds your stencil down as well. Well, maybe not so much on this one. I have it, my page is warped. I got warpage over here. All right. I think the wax would dry it out too, but so see how my spray's more splotty than, oh, oh, I think I might have just made a hot mess. We might have just made a hot mess, my friends. Oh boy. My arrows, we sprayed too much. We sprayed too much. My friend Jan also gave me these shop towels. Let's see what happens. Screw it. We're gonna stamp. We're gonna. I should have just done what my first thought was, to just put some white over it, like sponge some white over it. But anyways, we got 2.5 pages done, right? In an hour and a half, and 2 hours. Look at, ooh, I put the arrows going both ways. And now I gotta, no, I agree. Thanks, Galena. I like the way it looks too, but it's just gonna come off. That's my problem. It's gonna, well, you know what? I'll spray it with hairspray or fixative later. But that's the problem with these, especially the acrylics, any of your sprays, right? If you got these old bad boys, the Tattered Angel ones that have glimmer in them, glimmer mist, or acrylic ones, you gotta clean the tip. See, well, I guess with any sprays, just good practice. Good practice to wipe it up. Alright, we're gonna try this one more time. It's like gingham with arrows. Alright, one more time. Think we can do it? We're gonna bust out the white paint this time. We're not gonna mess around. Done messing around. Uh-oh. I just tried to open this, like holding it between my legs. That could have been really bad news right there. That could have been some serious bad news. Let me take I'm not tired at all. Normally I stop my show after 2 hours, but I soldiering on over here. So I'm gonna just put some paint on my, well, we'll see if that's enough. I still got white on this particular makeup wedge, so everybody cross their fingers. Now I really have to pound straight up and down. Straight up and down, you know. Oh, that's a great idea. Chrissy Star says she likes to use glitter hairspray. I've never even heard of glitter hairspray. That's how much I use hairspray. Okay, so again, because some of this paint under, or the spray under here, the Tim Holtz Distress spray stain, you're going to see some of the blue come up in here, come up through the paint. But I'm trying to be very careful to go straight up and down as to not go underneath the stencil. Take a peek. Oh, it's going to look good. I'm excited. This is real life, people. Okay. Oh, I like that. Now we're getting somewhere. And once I outline it with some blue, it's going to be nice. Okay, put this off to the side for a second. Just remember what I said about I like to when I use up my paint or whatever. Now where did that piece go? Oh, so here we go. We were working on this book, this leftover journal, as I like to call it. Well, maybe that page got too much orange. So let's flip it over to this one. This is actually a magazine, and I'll use the exact. Well, maybe this time we want to go this way. So I'm just using the same stencil. I like to use the same stencil, the same paint. If I have it out already, right? I have the stencil out, I have the paint, I have the makeup wedge or whatever you're using. I use the exact same thing on one of this leftover journal. And I'll show you another quickly if you're new here. One of my leftover journals that's mostly done. Because I think, in my humble opinion, you get some really cool pages, and then you just add a few finishing touches on top, like cognizant that you're intentionally putting on to finish the page. Right? Look how cool that is. Now, sometimes if I use magazines like this, you know, I like to leave some pages not have paint on them. This particular magazine, I find I live in Toronto, like I said, and the Toronto airport's a big international airport, and I find the most awesome magazines at the airport, especially some of these UK ones. And this magazine. It's called Company, I think. Let me go. I'll turn it around in a minute. It doesn't have glossy pages. It's got very matte pages, which is really good to art journal on. All right. Well, I went right over that girl. But again, like I just whatever you got going on. But this, yeah, Company. This is a British edition. Well, October 2012. That's how much I've had it, and it's a really cool size. These small ones. Okay, let me just real quickly while that other one's drying. Here's one, and I made this one. I just made this out of Canson Mixed Media Journal, the bigger ones, not the biggest ones, but how big is it? 12 by 14, something like that. And some of these were jelly plated first, right? Some of these are hot messes, like this. At this stage of the game, that's where I would intentionally put some white stenciling or something like that, right? So I was using this stencil. Maybe this is at the stage that I might add, intentionally add something. Right here I was using Patty's pictograph and through light molding paste. So you just add, this is my little, I was obviously using this black chevron foam stamp, right? I had some ink out, so I dripped the ink. There's my stacked book stencil on the side. So that's the kind of thing I like. Now my wonderful friend Glenda, she might not be here anymore, has a matching one to that bad boy. Okay, let's go back to this. It's fun doing that because again, it's not, you don't think about it. You know what I mean, Vern? Is she streaming or not? I missed the whether she said she was or not. Okay, that's not quite dry. Not quite dry. So I'm not sure if we chose the right color of orange. Maybe we should have done yellow, whatnot. I don't know if you can even see the purple, what you guys see on that or not, but the Black dots kind of add a nice thing. The little birds. Now that's kind of silly. Walk your talk, and I got birds flying. That's a little. That's a, that's a little silly. Anyway, and like I said, this could have been just as easily could have been some nice magazine cutouts or stampage or whatnot. Like this one, it needs to dry. It needs to dry. But because this is Paris, I will use some of the stamps, the Paris stamps that Glenda gave me to finish that bad boy off. So, hey, we got 3 pages almost done in 2 hours and a bit, 2.5 hours, and a lot of chatting. Uh-oh. Pause is pretending to be a mountain goat. Cheats cat. Bella does that too. She tries to get up on the pillows right behind my neck. Oh boy. Yeah. You know, and lots of times in my art journals, I'll go back. Okay, for example, this isn't quite dry. I gotta be careful with that bad boy. See, look, I put this napkin down. I flipped over the page. I'm the type that doesn't like to. I know some artists want to look at a page or a canvas, whatever they're working on, and have to finish it before starting anything else. Not me. If I start looking at this and thinking, what should I put there? I'm turning the page and going doing something else, right? But I don't feel the need to finish every page either. Maybe will finish this one because it's nice. But, you know, I'm not, all my pages are stuck. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to, what the devil did I have on here? Sweet loving goodness. Those are such nice pages, I don't want to rip them. Okay. Oh, I gotta fix that later, or else I'll be cursing on stream. But, you know, work on what you like. And see, I never finished these ones we did the other day. And I thought about what I didn't like about them. That I'm pointing at you. I'm pointing at myself. I thought about what I didn't like or what I struggled with was the proportion. The the size. I'm so used to using and everyone knows I just finished a composition book. And when I go from big to small, this would have been the proportion of these hearts would have been nice in a composition book, but it needed to be smaller in my own mind, right? In my own mind. So sometimes you just gotta flip it over and work on something else. So it was fun tonight actually working on 3 different things at a time. And hey, we learned something. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. I still need I still want to add something on here. It's like I want to go and drip. Thank goodness Eileen isn't still up or she'd be making me do it. I almost want to take some light blue ink and drip it down like acrylic inks and drip it down. This is my fluorescent blue golden, but I don't think I think it's again something I treasured and then it went bad. My desk is a mess on any given day. Actually, I did pretty good at keeping it clean, Mako. But I need to tone down this orange. Know what I mean, Vern? But I'll go back to it. Well, I can't now because I waxed it. I'm going to chalk it up to experience and try it again. I don't know if I can, if because it's wax, it's probably not going to dry on wax. Where's Jane? The encaustic, she's doing encaustic stuff. I hope to see everyone again on Wednesday. It was so wonderful to meet some new people tonight, and obviously so awesome to see everyone else. Need some yellow. You think craft paint would go over this wax? My page, once you wax your page, it feels really cool too. Thanks, Grizzy. It feels really cool. You end up wanting to pet it. Want to pet it. But I think it'll just bead right off. Don't you think? I mean, I guess we can try it, but I think it would have to be craft paint or something. Now I'm just talking to myself. Just talking to myself. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Carol. No harm in trying. I mean, if it beads up, it's just gonna roll right off the page, right? But I think all of my uh, golden, they all, there's actually supposed to be a ball bearing in here, or whatever you call it, but it's chunky. But I think that's my fault. Like, I paid big bucks for this paint. And whoop! I just flew it across the room. Um, yeah. So I don't know if it's even. This is what I wanted to do too. My friend Susan gave me the fine line applicator, and I have just white craft Liquitex Basics in here. I wanted to use it tonight, but I think there's too much white going on that page already. Too much white, and again, same as this one. But hey, maybe we can do it on a different page. And not that one's got too much white. That one's already has white. This one, oh my sweet loving goodness, this. Hey, this page is already a hot mess. Can't be any more. Can't be any worse than it already is. Yeah, slippery little slugger. Let's see. I can add more circles. My problem here was again, I didn't have the scale right because I was so. Uh-oh. It's not coming out. What did I do wrong? Oh, this is the one I'm squeezing it. It's gonna squirt right in my face. Night, Trina. I'm wrapping up too. Yeah, I always say that and then I don't, right? Like I said, nothing. Sometimes you just gotta make a hot mess. So this page has a lot of texture, which is why it feels like it's skipping. But this is also the 18 gauge, 0.8 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm holding my breath as I do this, I guess because I'm so worried about it. I don't know. Do, 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 do. All right, now I can't do anything else over here. This and the fine liner, Liquitex Basics white. Liquitex Basics is a little, more fluid than some paints, but I think that a more fluid paint like golden, see Patty? Patty made me buy it. This Titan Buff, I haven't tried it. I have more. Susan gave me 2. I could try another one, but I'm thinking like a fluid acrylic like this, it might just pour out. Know what I mean, Vern? Helena, you'll see me in April. Oh yeah, you're going to South America. Safe travels, my friend. Fine line. Fine line. Let me tell you, they're very hard. If I guess some people can find them in the U.S. at, look, I'm pointing again. Can find them in the U.S. at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something, but they're impossible to find in Canada. Possible, but that looks a little better. I can work on this now. I can work on it. I might have to just paint everything around it once I put that thing down. But now I can't do anything else. So I hope you enjoyed it tonight. We got some things done. I swear, I'm going to finish this art journal if it kills me. I'm going to finish this page. I'll post it online. And I need to do something else with that page. For sure. Hey. Well, this is going to mess it up. Oh well. It's my art journal. I was just thinking. Here's what I'm going to do. see what happens. I've got some cobalt blue golden fluid acrylic here. Night, Jillian. And I don't know why I just looked at the camera and did that. So I'm going to put a little bit at the top. Let's see what happens. Because it's wax, right? So this could be a hot mess. This could ruin everything. Hold the fort. Everybody loves a little drippage, right? Look at it, it's just rolling right off. You know what I was just gonna do? I was gonna put it like this. Well, might work. Where's one of my thingy-me-doos? Pipette. Let's see if my pipette can help me out here. I'm holding my breath over here. Did I already say that out loud? I'm gonna be up. I had a big nap today. I'm gonna be up all night. Now, so this is a golden fluid acrylic, which is an artist grade paint. So it might just stick on this wax. It might just. I can hear Simon snoring up a storm out there. It might just. Uh-oh. It's all dripping. The drip is just dripping on all the other pages. Oh, sweet goodness. I mean, all the other pages. Oh, no. Look. Oh, I can't even see. Bad news over here. Sorry, I'm just wiping it up a little bit because golden fluid, it'll make everything stick. I'll have all those pages stuck together. More than they are already. Alright, worked a little bit. Let's see if it dries on there. That actually looks a lot better. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. But, yellow? I know, but I believe, again, I'll say it again. Gotta use what's around you. The yellow I have is out in the, like I said, I have to figure out how to store all my paints. Remember before I was talking about my Liquitex, right? But I've got to figure out how to store all my golden fluids. You know, I've got boxes that have my heavy bodies in there. And, you know, then I've got all of where to put all of my inks, acrylic inks. That's why I'm thinking my craft paint. I should just, I mean, if I have, what, 30 or 40 bottles of craft paint, like most of us, you know, a whole bottom of my Rascog cart, how often am I using craft paint anymore? And when I do, what are the colors I always use? There's specific colors I always use, right? A lighter, one of the lighter purples. Like I should just go through some of my recent art journals. I'm gonna put this off to the side. I had a good time tonight. I like the pages I made. Let's see. I don't know if anyone's here staying up with me or am I talking to myself, but I'm just gonna talk. Night Bunny, happy birthday again. Well, maybe it's after midnight here. Oh yeah, I was working on this. But you know what? I need to put a whole glaze. I need to put a glaze on it because now it looks so matte. It looks so matte. I'm still working on that. I got two things I just found that I'm working on. This canvas, and who remembers this? Uh-oh. I obviously need to glue it back down. That's bad news. When I broke my ankle, if anyone remembers, I my art stuff was upstairs. And when I broke my ankle, by the time I was able to go up into my room again, I gotta glue this back on. Uh, you know, which was like 2 months later, I did all my art on the couch. All these brushes were dried up in my, and it's white, right? I need to add some more colors on there, obviously. But these particular brushes were dried in my water, or what did have water in it, right? Hey, Val. So like, it was symbolic to me because, I wasn't able to go in my art room for like 2 months, and I did all my art on the couch, and that's how I started YouTubing. And 6 years ago, over 6 years ago, um, when I did all this stuff, right? So I really wanted to do a ode to my poor paintbrushes. That's a story behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least I got the numbers right. But I definitely gotta fix it. It's been through the. I might just have to pull them off and start all over. This one, that, like I said, that was 5, 6 years ago. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, I guess because this was stuck in there. I also found this that we made. Oh, when we were all doing the file folder stuff, and it's very scrapbooky, right? But I need to give this away if somebody be interested. Cause like right now I love it, right? But not necessarily my style right now. Everything's glued on. The back looks like this. Everything's scraped, and I think you could add different stuff. There's stamps on there, but I'm not gonna use it any further. And I think somebody else may like to stuff the pockets with something. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see what colors I normally. So here, this light green I would craft paint. I would keep because I use that light green all the time. Light green. This melon color for sure. I'm just gonna keep saying uh every color. So I'm not even gonna narrow down my paint colors. Uh I might just do Operation use up all craft paint. Like this purple I'll keep. I guess I use a lot of the, what do you call them? Not jelly bean color. Would you say jelly bean colors? I'm going to yeah, I did a lot of scrapbooking. One thing I'll show you guys, I haven't seen something now that we're just chatting. I found today, like I said, I was cleaning up my finished art supply, art journals and such. But over the years, I mean, I shouldn't say all years, but I've made some more scrapbooky things. Um, I made all these books and such. And of course, I'm not going to show scrapbooks and all that stuff. Not pastel colors, but brighter pastel colors. So like I love the Tim Holtz and gears and the Timmy things, and I made this little book. So what I originally made this for, and this was a few years ago, a lot of years ago, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago, I had all this paper. So my thought process on this was to write down all the supplies I had. For example, this particular one, this was all at the time, all of the, I've obviously have more now. Texture plates, I have. I don't know if you can see them. So it was like recording all of them. So I would take, for example, I'd take this to the store so I wouldn't buy more of the same stuff. So let's see, what else did I have over here? I think I wrote down, oh yeah, so for example, I Moonshadow mists, Lindy Stamp Gang stuff, I really liked, especially Moonshadow mists. And so here again, I sprayed all the Moonshadow mists, wrote down the names, basically a swatch. It's swatching, Miko. Swatching. So I have all the Moonshadow mists in here that I sprayed. I mean, that was what the book was made for. Or Starburst stains, like I had the one, like a Bingo Dabber one, and they're all shiny. I still have all these bad boys stains. So, I mean, I do scrapbooky stuff. And then this one, so we did a lot of all these rubber band books or faux dory. So we did these years ago. So this is all scrapbook paper, and each one of these comes out. What is in here? Old ATCs. So we had a pocket here, pocket there. I think Laurel came up with this folder, folding, whatever. So these are all um, scrapbook papers that come out. So, and you put the tape on there. Like I see, got two things. Like this is the stuff that, uh-oh. See what happens? Sometimes with your elastic bands, they rip. So what do? Throw it out and put in a new one. Right? Que sera, sera paper. Who just used this the other day? And I told him that that was my favorite paper, and I wasn't kidding. Yeah, see, look, some of them, a few of them broke. That's how long ago we did those. And then lastly, everybody kind of likes this one. So when we were all into making mini books and stuff, right? Got lots of. So this is a rubber band book that I put that I used ribbons instead of rubber bands. So I have all these different charms. Some I think different people have given me some of these thingamadoos. We have this Eiffel Tower one, an Eiffel Tower washi tape. I forget who made this Eiffel Tower paper, but I used a Tim Holtz thing. There's some distress glitter in there. And I UT'd up my flower. Ella, that's right, Jean. Ella used it. So, and then I put, I think this was 7 gypsies in there. And again, I decorated all those things. And again, this is like a fold out. This is a file folder that folded out, right? That I decorated every single file folder. Did I say something else? I meant ribbons. I definitely meant ribbons. Night, Debbie. So each one of these, I made these tags and they're all a little bit different. So, I had the picture. Oh my gosh, those were old too. I think they were limited edition, or I don't know how well you can see that, but they're all stamped, and this Eiffel Tower was die cut and paint stamped on the back. And there's all these fibers, like every pocket. Ooh, I lost one there. That's bad news. So everyone, it tips out, and everyone, oh, that's why there's 2 in that bad boy. But everyone, oh, they're all the same, yet a little different. I just assembly lined that bad boy. So I made this maybe, like I said, 6 years ago. I was art journaling as well at the time. This is the back. I was art journaling as well, but I still was doing a lot of scrapbooky stuff. There's like a light molding paste there. So again, they all tip out. They all have random fibers on it. It was nice to make. And it was nice to use up all, especially some of the stuff I had for a while, right? Let me tell you, assembly line fashion on this bad boy. And then, all this stuff. I love how all this comes out. I did have an old 7 gypsies, rats, what do they call them? I'm still treasuring some of them. There's these attacher thingamadoos. So you just go around and attach it back in here. Oh, I'm messing up my flower. Oh. Anyway, fun pair, and it's a nice way to use up. Not use up's not the right word, but I'm gonna got a ginormous key. Like I have a lot of these charms that I treasure. So yeah, everyone, you're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. But I'm a scrapbooker, or I have been over the years. So anyway, I got lots of projects like that. But it was fun making these, a while ago. I also made one that I also made another one that houses my uh my addresses, but I have zero idea where that went. Shocker. What else have I made that's close? I don't know. I have lots of there was a time, years ago when, and I'll just show this quick. Years ago when Ali Edwards, when she taught, so this would have been about 2005. Um, Ali Edwards taught at CKU, Creating Keepsakes University. So it was before her whole, the stuff that she does now, Simple Story. She used to just teach a class where everything was 4x6, right? And so she just did little scrapbook pages and then put them in 4x6 albums. That's so dark you can't even see Simon, because there was no flash. So, anyways, now she has what? All that Project Life and stuff. This was before Project Life, where she just did 4x6 that you put in the album. So, what was nice about these was that, it didn't take too long. It didn't take a long time, to do these little pages. So, that's me with a black eye. There's Simon and I, and me and my sister. But it's nice to have just little pages that were quick to do, with just one, there's my baby. Just one picture or whatnot. And it's just fun. But these aren't my, like, most elaborate pages. But it's nice to make, to look back in some of these memories. There's my sister, my dad, and I on his 50th birthday. Yeah, so obviously I haven't done it yet, or anymore for the last 10 years. Should probably just put that on the other side of my room now. But anyway, I've done enough yapping tonight. Time to go to bed. I'll see everyone. Well, time to sign off. So I'll see you guys Wednesday for sure, and I'll see you at tomorrow. Tomorrow, oh my goodness. Tomorrow we got